neighbor's dog. Look what I did. So I'm not really good at keeping plants alive inside. So, all right, something was eating these. Two that's reproducing right now on the sunflower. But yeah. Hello, welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. Hey y'all, tonight I am back in the backyard in my place of peace. But the garden is dying, and so tonight I need to go ahead and start pulling things out. It's the second week in August and I'm going to start pulling things out because I'm getting ready for fall. We started the garden seedlings for fall, a week or so ago, and they're looking really good. I'll show them to you. It is no secret that I suffer from anxiety, right? And so it presents out in the backyard. The garden is my place of peace. It's my place of clarity for sure, but sometimes my anxiety presents out in the backyard too. So if you're not new here, you know that like when I am growing root vegetables, I dig into the bag because I just need to know. My anxiety needs to know if the potatoes are growing, if the carrots are growing. My anxiety just needs to know, right? And so it doesn't really bother me. It's just like a funny thing that I do at this point. But sometimes anxiety is more than just digging down into a bag too early. Sometimes anxiety is something that I need to talk to someone about. And so if you're not new here, you know, like I'm really big into learning how to grow herbs. And so one of the reasons why I wanted to grow herbs is because I wanted to find herbs that could treat my anxiety. That's one of the reasons why I want to grow herbs. But then there are times when your anxiety gets to you to the point where you need to talk to someone. And so right now my anxiety is really high. I have a situation going on in my life. I almost did not record this video because I was like, no one, my neighbor's dog. Because I was like, no one wants to see an anxiety-filled video from a person who's normally very high energy, right? But at the same time, I need to get this stuff pulled. I want to take you all along with me, and so here we are. But I want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. So BetterHelp has therapists who are trained to listen to you and to give you unbiased advice. First, you go to their site. You can use my link, betterhelp.com/YD. You answer a few questions and BetterHelp will match you to professionals who have years of experience helping people with issues just like yours. You can do it all from your phone or computer via phone call, video chat, or messaging. However you feel most comfortable. It's the easiest way possible to start speaking to a therapist. You'll be matched to a therapist usually within 48 hours, so you can get started fast. All from the comfort of your home. Visit betterhelp.com/YD or choose Yellow Door Urban Homestead during sign up and enjoy a special discount on your first month. Thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. So listen, I'm gonna show y'all the seedlings that we planted up together, and they were leggy. I want to show you the seedlings because I want everyone to know that your leggy seedlings does not need to be the end. I think that was the title of my last video, so let me show you them. So there they go. These are all of the seedlings that were leggy, right? These are the snapdragons that we planted. These are the Swiss chard that we planted. And these are the nasturtiums. So they've all come up. They are now in the smaller greenhouse. The shelf kept falling over. So I just leaned it back until I could figure out what happened. But also, look at that, y'all. There are some more sweet potato slips down here. And then these are the other seedlings that were very leggy, and we just planted them deeper. And someone told me that I should take the sweet potato vine and plant them in the house and keep them and cut them and things. So I'm not really good at keeping plants alive inside. So with that being said, I'm probably not going to do that. But I think it's a great idea. I do think it's a great idea. I just know that I'm not good at keeping plants alive inside, and so that plant will end up being in my house and not alive. So let's get started tonight. The compost pile looks terrible. So we're still going to throw this stuff over here in it. And if, you know, eventually I'm going to clean it up. But it still looks terrible. And I don't feed my chickens my tomato plants or my pepper plants. Oh, by the way, the carrots came up. 1 second. So we have lots of carrots in these bags. Not so much a lot in that one, but we got a decent amount in this one too. So we're doing good with carrots. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and pull the tomatoes out of the bags. I have tomatoes. They were supposed to be suckers that I was gonna plant in these bags, but that's not gonna happen. And at this rate, I have so many seedlings for fall that I can have seedlings to plant in the bags, because I can grow in the bags in fall too. So we're gonna go ahead and pull these tomatoes out, pull down the string. It's a weed, but it's on my leg, so I'm thinking there's something on my leg. Anyway, we're gonna pull this, take the string down from the Florida weave. We're gonna get that down tonight. We are probably, I don't know what else we're gonna pull, but all of the tomatoes are gonna come out tonight. So I figured out last year that it's easier to pull the plant first, then cut the string. Then you can just kind of pull it all at once. So I have to find, no I don't, I feel like it's down in the garden in my home and garden trends chair. One second, I have to find a thing to cut it with. It's so crazy how fast summer goes by. It feels like we just put this stuff in and it's time for it to come out already. My chicken is trying to get out, like, but why? So if I do not plant in those bags for fall, I'm just gonna cover them with leaves. But like I said, I have a lot of extra seedlings. I think I'm gonna have a lot of extra seedlings. And so if I don't plant in them for fall, I'll cover them with leaves. But there's a chance that there's actually gonna be something growing in those bags this fall. This will be my first time doing that for the most part. Well, no, I've planted in pots, not in bags for fall, but I might. We'll see how it goes. So by the way, I did not get any squash or zucchini this year. I did not get one. And so those have pretty much died off. I'm going to go ahead and pull those too. So I'm going to be honest, by the end of this video, there'll probably be a stack of stuff right here. And eventually I will get it over into the compost pile. There are so many squash bugs in this garden bed. It's two that's reproducing right now. Oh my goodness. I was bound not to get any squash. It is what it is. But there's a lot of them in there. So we won't plant squash there next year. We will not plant squash there next year. Some yellow leaves on this pepper plant, and I just noticed it. It's the habanada plant. It's a lot of them. Probably sometime this week what is left out here, because I'm going to try to get most of this stuff pulled tonight. I am going to go ahead and fertilize it with some comfrey tea. The basil still looks really good in the middle bed. So I'm probably going to pull it out of the cinder block beds so that I can start trying to figure out what's going on with that soil. The other thing is the sunflowers have really started to fall over. So we need to pull those too, because now they're just laying all over the garden. There is so much work to be done out here tonight. So much. Now I know there are people who say don't pull it, cut it. I was one of those people. I don't do that anymore. I don't do that anymore because my beds were root bound. That was some of my problem. There's still something else going on in here. I wonder if the chickens can eat fennel leaves. I'm going to look it up, but for now I'm going to throw it in the middle. Oh, I'm going to move some of the pepper plants. The ones that are in the bed over there, the shishitos. I'm going to put them in here. This is where we got the surprise potato harvest in the last video. I think it was the last video. I really want to leave those tree collards to see what happens too. I'm going to pull all of the other stuff because I replanted that. I didn't replant any tree collards, but I probably should. It really does feel like we just planted this stuff. It really does. Summer goes by super fast. And if you're going to plant a fall garden and you're in a small space such as myself, it's time for me to start getting my stuff together. So I didn't have any calendula seeds. I'm hoping that some of these on this plant have dried enough, but maybe not. I don't know. I might be able to find some. And then, because you know I throw my calendula buds down there. So, because we're going to pull those calendula today too. Those are the calendula. They look bad. So does the dill. But I dropped the dill seeds back down in here this year. And as I understand it, I think I can cut this calendula down. But this just looks like it's kind of dried out. And it should start sprouting again. That's what I've seen. But it's hollow. We're gonna just go ahead and take it out. They were beautiful though. They look really beautiful in this spot this year. Because I can plant more. And for real, like I said, oh, that was a bean plant I just made a mistake and pulled. I don't think it was a plant. I think it was a piece of it. But either way, it got pulled. I have those sticky things over here, which I think are blackberries. So I need to get something to pull that with. I won't be doing that with my hand. It's a lot of weeds over here too. I did not get any watermelon this year again. It's fine. I wasn't like really expecting to get any, so you know, it's fine. There's a lot of life in the soil. See, yeah, there's quite a few calendula seeds down here, so maybe we'll get some volunteers for fall, because I'm out of seeds and I haven't ordered any yet. Lots and lots of weeds down here. We're gonna have a lot of cleanup to do. My daughter owes me. So we're also gonna get her out here to help. Oh wow, look at all the beans I'm missing, y'all. That thing is huge. Maybe I'll just let it dry on the plant. There's a lot of ants over here too. This is wild. I'm telling you, the ants are crazy this year. I'm gonna see if maybe we can get some volunteers next year. Probably not, because I'm opening it, but y'all forgive me tonight. Y'all just, please forgive me. I'm normally very high energy and very positive, but it's the end of the season anyway, so. Hey y'all, so we are back. We are back out in the garden. I am back. I gave myself some time. I gave myself some grace. I think we are 6 days later from when I recorded the beginning of this video. And that day, what I pulled out is what you saw me pull out. And then I told myself, no, you're going to allow yourself this time if you need it. And that's what I did. But now I'm back. So I'm going to show y'all what I have done. So in those 6 days, I have been busy. I did not pull out the camera because I was also processing something. I was processing a situation that I had going on in my life, and I didn't want to process it on camera. I really didn't. I originally was like, you know, just do what you got to do, move around the garden, that kind of thing. And I did. I just didn't do it on camera. But I am back today to show you what I did do, because we are moving over to fall. It is August, I think the 17th today, and it is beautiful this morning. It's like high 70s. I mean, it's beautiful. And so I'm going to show you what I did, and then we're going to come back in another video, our next video probably, and we're going to start prepping, really prepping for fall, getting things ready for fall, starting to, you know, take care of the soil, take care of the beds, and you want to see something? Look what I did. I cleaned up the compost pile. That is grass over there that I need to put in here, but we're going to wait until it goes down a little bit, but there is compost in there, and so we're going to use that to prep for fall. But aside from cleaning out that, well, cleaning up the compost pile, which really needed to be done, I did not touch that compost pile all summer long. Like I just let it be. But we cleaned that up. Got the squash that was growing up the house taken down. So let me show you what I did, and then I will see y'all later. Okay, so, you know, the block beds gave me a lot of trouble. So we pulled out pretty much everything except for the marigolds. Want to keep a little bit of green and some color. But this marigold plant just really started popping recently. And so there are a few others that are still just green. Same thing over here. This one started popping. These still that's trying to grow a little bit over there, but a lot of it is still just green. And marigolds are one of those plants that will go right into the frost too. I don't know that those are gonna stay up into the frost, because same beds that I plant in summer are the same beds I plant for fall. And so we're just going to let them go for as long as, you know, I let them go. But again, we're gonna work on the soil, but I can work on the soil around the marigolds. So let me show you what I did with the tree collards and the kale. And I'm just going to leave it until it's time to plant. And if I'm lucky, this stuff will start growing again. And then I already have very established plants. So what I did is just pulled all the leaves off. And if you can see, this is what has been eating them all summer long. I hope y'all can see it. I don't know. But I just did that. And so we'll see what happens. So that's a tree collard there. This one is also a tree collard. And then there's one right there. And then I just threw the leaves down on the soil because it can go back into the soil. I didn't do that with everything that I pulled off. But in the fall, I normally do because the leaves are like really big and really thick. And so that's what I do in the fall. But in the summer, I normally put it in the compost pile. So, but I'll just chop and drop is what it's called. You take the leaves off of a plant or even the fruit. You could end up having a lot of volunteers. So I don't really do it with the fruit, but you can just kind of chop and drop. And so I did the same thing with the kale that was over here. I had like 3 different variety of kale. You see those little bugs? I need to look it up. I don't know what those bugs are. I really don't. And again, I don't care about them being here. Like I said, in the summer, I probably wasn't going to use that stuff anyway. I just wanted to see if it would grow in my area. And it did grow, but it fed nature. The other thing, and you saw this in the beginning of the video, is that I pulled all of the tomatoes out. They're even gone over there. Kept all my zinnias because they're still growing. See how pretty. They're still growing. And that has a spider web all over it. Very pretty. I'm leaving those for now, but I will come back and take those out too eventually because that's a bed I plan to grow in. This year, I plan to grow for fall in all of my beds. You know, normally I pick some beds. I say I'm not going to grow in a certain bed because of, you know, the light and that kind of stuff. I'm growing in everything this year. The basil in this middle bed still is looking amazing. I just cannot bring myself to pull it. Some of them are starting to flower. And again, before they start, I could pull the tops off. And I may do that. They still just look so beautiful for it to be this time of year. Like, I just think they still look really beautiful. Another thing, and I don't know that I'm going to actually get this cantaloupe because it's already starting to turn, like, you know, to harden or whatever. And it's very small. But there's a cantaloupe growing over here. And there's actually a whole bunch of little ones too. So I might end up getting a cantaloupe this year for my daughter. She'll love it. I moved all of the peppers aside from the 3 that are over here. They're all in bags now. And then the bags that's in the middle of the walkway, they'll probably be dispersed throughout the garden so that I can have space to work and move as I prepare for fall. Here's another melon that I planted. I don't know which one it is. Let's see if this tag tells me. Oh, it's a Tigger melon. I am not a melon eater, but my daughter is, and she did enjoy those Tigger melons. They smelled really good, but I did not. I think maybe I did try it. I'm just not a melon person, so I didn't like it. But my daughter loves it. And if you remember, these are the melon plants that were on this trellis that got shaded for a good portion of the early part of summer. And then once I took the potatoes out of these bags that now are growing peppers, these plants started to grow, and now they're starting to take over the trellis, which we love to see. But yeah, so I'm getting some Tigger melons on there too. Peppers, all these peppers. So these are the 2 that I just recently moved. So you can see they're yellow, and they're gonna, you know, it's gonna take some time for them to get acclimated. But they were over here. These are the 2 that were over here. We're just getting ready for fall, y'all. We pulled out everything except for the zinnias that were in this bed. All of the tomatoes are gone now. This trellis is still trellising. So it's cucumbers, a cuckoozy gourd is on there too. So yeah, we're getting ready for fall. And that's what I did while I was moving through my little situation. I did get into the garden eventually and start working and getting things done. The next thing we really need to work on is this horrible flower bed. The flower bed looks terrible, but we do have some pretty zinnias over here. Like, they're still growing. They look beautiful. You know, almost to the end. Look at these. They're beautiful. So we still have zinnias growing in this bed. This is a, what do you call it? Celosia. This is celosia, and that's still growing. But we need to clean this out. We really do. And my plan for fall in that bed is snapdragons. Like literally, I'm not mixing anything else in. Okay, I may put some pansies in there because I just love pansies, right? I didn't plant any pansies, so we'll see how that goes. I may have to buy some from the store, but I'm thinking about putting snapdragons and pansies in that bed for the fall. Snapdragons and pansies can make it through the winter in zone 7B, and so that's probably what I'm going to put in there because I just want that bed not to look like that every year. By the way, we had some sunflowers that volunteered late in the year, and now we're getting pretty sunflowers. Look at that big old bee that's on there. Can y'all see it? It's huge on the sunflower. But yeah, it's beautiful. That bee has so much pollen on his legs. So like all of the other sunflowers have died. That one volunteered late, and so now I'm having a beautiful late crop of sunflowers for the bees. That big old bee with all that pollen is now getting all of its, like, getting so much nutrients from that late blooming sunflower. That's really sweet, I think. So what's next? What's next is we're gonna start top dressing with some compost. I want more peppers. I didn't get nearly as many peppers as I wanted because the summer was just busy and I did not have time. So what I am gonna do, last year you remember me saying like I'm not taking care of the peppers anymore. This year I'm about to start taking care of the peppers so that I can get more peppers up until our first frost, so I can make sure that I get my pepper seasoning. I'm gonna start thinking about things that I need to do. So like I need leaves. The leaves of course have not started falling off the trees, because what I'm gonna do for the bags, even the ones that I'm growing in, just to hopefully help to keep the soil warmer, is I'm gonna mulch it with leaves. But even the ones I'm not, I'm gonna mulch with leaves to cover the soil throughout the colder season. And then yeah, top dressing, putting down mulch, maybe even looking into like wood chips or something for certain parts of the garden. And then we're, gonna start slowly pulling things out, just because it's that time of year. Like I said, it's like 70 this morning and it is beautiful. Oh, so 7-day difference on the seedlings. I'm gonna show y'all that real quick before we get out of here. So, all right, something was eating these. These are my purple kohlrabi, but they're growing back. But you can see something had eaten all the leaves. But these are our seedlings, 7 days from the last time I showed you. But they're doing amazing, amazing. We love that. And at some point today or tomorrow, I'm going to separate all of those snapdragons. A lot of snapdragons came up, a lot of them. But I want them all, like I want them all. So we're gonna sit and slowly separate all of those tiny little seedlings so that they can start growing, so that when it is time, I can go ahead and plant them out into the flower bed. I haven't even cleaned the flower bed yet. That's something, for whatever reason, I just can't, it doesn't make me so excited anymore because it always looks like trash. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram, where I post about the things going on out in my garden. Not as much as I should. Bye y'all.